Hey, Catapult here. Welcome to my secret lair. We're changing this out to a cutoff, from a grinder to a cutoff on the angle grinder. Okay, so we'll be cutting the piece of steel for the bit. This is an old barn door hinge. Put it in here and break that piece off. We're not using that piece, but we'll save it for something that we might use later. You just don't know. And then we'll go ahead and try to cut this straight. I got to put it in an angle. And this will be the end that we sharpen. Don't want to cut him when you have to, that way it saves your wheels. There we go. That's 1/4 inch, if not 5/16. It's a little bigger than what we wanted, but there you go. So we'll go ahead and clean it some. Of course, you can see it is relic iron, so we want to maintain that. So now I'm going to come in and heat this, and we're going to heat treat the bit just on the end. So we're going to heat it up just with a torch. All right, so I'm going to put this bag in here. I don't know whether it'll catch fire or not, just to keep the heat from wicking down into the thing. I'm heating the oil. The oil will be about 400 degrees, and I'll go ahead and quench it. Then I'll reheat it with the torch, and we'll get a rainbow effect to apply the heat treating on the reheat. So some people use an oven to put it in like at 400 or 500 degrees after it cools, but I'll just be using a torch, and you'll see what I'm trying to do. Okay, so we'll heat this up. The hot nozzle here. Tank's about empty. The oil, we'll quench it in the oil when I get this heated up. I'm just going to treat the end, that's all I'm going to worry about. Just so it'll hold an edge. Hopefully. I would say that bag's going to catch fire. So it's getting pretty red. I'll get a pair of pliers. I've got the hot oil there, so we'll get ready to quench it, and then we'll reheat it. Breathe that smoke. Let this set a minute. Completely cool. Oil over here. I like to use dirty oil, I assume. I mean, I always learned that the black in it was carbon, and it would help harden the steel. I don't know. Stand to be corrected on that. So we'll let it cool, and then we'll reheat it. All right, so it's completely cooled. So I'm going to go ahead and reheat it. Let's see here. What you want to do is watch, once it gets hot enough where we want it, you'll see a rainbow effect start to move, and then we'll just let it cool. And that'll heat treat it. Oil burn off there a little bit. Like I say, we're just doing the end of it. Try to catch it on the recorder. See that color in here. It'll start moving. And this will make it heat treated. It won't be quite as brittle, but it'll be hard. See the color is blue there. Yeah, see it starting to move. Well, we'll see how that does. We'll let it cool. And we are going to cut the bottom of this bit off for the pole axe, right? So let me have to get this in position. So I'm going to draw a line on it. I'll probably stay away a little bit. If it's a little big, then I'll just finish with the rest to make it even. I'll grind it. So let me see, probably it'll come out that way a little bit. And then we're going to turn this way. Okay, and we'll lock that in best we can. And maybe I better make that straight, huh? Okay, I think I got a little bit of chalk here. Let me see. I will get my ear protection. Tremendous amount of noise when you do something like this. It's I have a little bit of tinnitus, but the doctor says my hearing's fine. But the tinnitus comes and goes. So, I should turn my fan on. I have an exhaust fan. I'm going to probably start wearing a respirator. I believe this is supposed to be asbestos free, but still you got other things, I'm sure, in it you don't want to breathe. Cut-off wheels really do well. I could get a Sawzall with a metal cutting bit or blade, but it can be a little bit slower. Plus the blades are more expensive than these. Now, tell me what I'm not doing. Hold on. Gotta find my gloves. Bad boy. Pretty quick, huh? I will probably thin this bit some. Okay, got a little spot there we missed. That makes a really nice clean cut. Let me get this real quick. Alright, almost even, so I just got to do a little bit of grinding on it. What do you think? Quite even. The weld needs a little bit of help. Got to give it another shot of it. So we'll have to fill this on this end. And then the top needs to be filled a little. This one I'll probably let go. It's just a little on the bottom. Let me see how well that looks. Yeah, it's nice and square. And I think it's a straight across. I'm going to go ahead and put the grinder back on here. Hold on, I'll just turn this around. Turn that back to low. So much noise. Carry the dust out. If you have an angle grinder, make sure that you don't buy the masonry wheels. Make sure that you get the steel if you're doing this kind of thing. These are a lot harder. The masonaries won't last very long on steel. Let me see here. This handle needs some work. It's quite rough, even though it's an official finished handle. I think this is maple, as a matter of fact, now that I look at the grain. So I'm just going to file it with the fine side here. We'll be all done with my straight bit pole handle Tomahawk. This is my first one. This particular handle was oval, which it still is slightly, but I wanted to make it more round. Which, when you do it by hand, you can't do anything exactly right. This is a machine-made handle, of course. So I like to put my own touches on it. Some chatter marks and whatnot. That antique look. This particular handle is tapered this way. It would be nice to make it so it won't drop. That's going to be a problem with it. There's not a bump here or a larger area, and I was not going to make the hole any smaller on the bit because that's just the size pipe it was. I'm going to go ahead and run the. Let's see what kind of a mess that is right there. Just see if I can get it up here. Smooth it out a little bit. There was no finish on it. It was an unfinished handle. And then we'll hit it with the belt sander a little bit and the vibrating sander. You want to make sure you get this up here fixed good. Because if you get it on, you want to do some more sanding. It's kind of hard to sand with the head on already. And the importance of gloves, you know, when you're working like this, I don't pay attention like I should, and I pay for it. One of these abrasions from one of these sanding discs or one of these files is quite nasty. I say this is hickory. I'm not sure. It's quite heavy. Looks like somebody put their initial in there. I don't know. Looks like an R. Alright, I'll stop with that. I think I can, at least I don't want it completely looking like it came out of a factory. Alright, so we got the bit back. See, I put some weld in there. There were just some spots. It's not supposed to be a pretty weld. Let me grind that out. There you go, that's feathered in there. We'll take it the other way and we'll feather that weld into the metal and it'll look pretty good. Let me hook enough tilt on there. Can't gouge it very well there. Alright, so there's what we've got. This is the rough finish. Probably fill those little places with a little bit of steel plastic. A little more shaping, but then now we've got to use this one's about shot. These are a little pricey, the sanding disc This will put a polished finish on it. We'll have to see how well it works. Alright, so we'll put the shine on this. I've got a different one here. It had to be glued in. It kind of came apart. It's a little off balance. Okay, let me see. I've got to get to this, to the eye, and get it down a little bit. So finish that puts on that. So we'll do the other side real quick. To the eye. Then we'll drive it on the stick and we'll see what we got. Probably do a little more work here. Okay. Here's the stick. So we're going to slide that on there. See, I think we're into the... Yeah, okay. Alright, so I crushed her down a little bit more. Let me see how the fit is. Yeah, okay, so if we come in from the other side, let me make sure I got it right. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to drive it on, and I'll probably go ahead and hammer it some more. And there it is. To keep the bit from dropping. So there we have it. Yeah, it's just probably weld it shut. That's probably what I'm going to have to do. And I'll probably weld it shut. Let me see here. Hold on. At the back. So it's cooled. Let me see what we get with the file. Yeah, see, it just won't even cut in. So we did get a temper to it. All right, so I went ahead and put it on the wire wheel and then sanded a little bit to get the coloring off. So there it is. I've got a disc for the which you see me use for the angle grinder, but it's so out of balance it leaves a bunch of scratches instead of making a better finish, so I'll have to pick up another one. So there you have the Tomahawk. Been a pleasure bringing it to you. The last detail will be putting the leather collar on. And this is old saddle leather that was given to me. I think I got it cut just about right. And I'm going to put brass tacks in it. I'll cut this back off or groom in a certain way. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet. So I hope this looks pretty. Sort of like this. I tried to notch it so it would fit. I'm going to use one of these holes here in the, it had the stitching in it. Okay. That's one. I'm going to put this one here. I'm going to try to line it up. And just do an eyeball job. Start it that way. Be off of here. Got a little forgiveness with the head on that big, so That looks pretty good. I kind of move it around. And let me see what we got on this side, how well it lines up. Yeah, not too shabby. So I'll go ahead and put the others down the center. It's a little off in the back. If I don't like it, I can take it off. It's not a big deal.